Hey, everybody. This is the Concealed Carry Podcast, Season 13, Episode 1A. Bonus episode.
1A. It just sounds weird saying it.
Well, we don't want to throw off the count. So, welcome to the Concealed Carry Podcast, part of the concealedcarry.com network, brought to you by HK. Riley Bowman here, and Jacob Paulson, hosts of the podcast.
Yep.
Excited to be with you all. A bonus episode. Why are we having a bonus episode, Jacob?
Well, because we have an important announcement. This is only going to take about 5-10 minutes of your time to listen to this, and we think that this is urgent and important, and so we're kind of interrupting the normal schedule of things to make sure we get this out there.
Yeah. Yep. So let's jump right into it, because as we promised, we would be only 5, maybe 10 minutes. We'll try to keep it as brief as possible. Stick with us, because we think this is good stuff, important stuff. Episode title is The Laziest Way to Quickly Get Amazing Results in Your Shooting. And really what I want to kind of tease here is that, I mean, if you've been listening to the podcast for a long time, or even if you've been listening for a short time, you've probably picked up on the fact that we're real big on dry practice or dry fire practice. Because it is one of the simplest, cheapest, easiest ways you can develop pistol shooting skill. And obviously we need to practice in live fire too, but dry fire, I think, is where like the real work gets done. I mean, it's like, dry fire is like all the drills the football team does in practice. And live fire is sort of like scrimmage, live fire practice. That's when you put all that together and actually go head to head against, your team's offense or defense, whatever side you're on. Dry fire is where the work really is done for pistol shooting, in my opinion. I mean, it's how I have made my own progress over the last decade plus, and it's how Jacob's made a lot of progress as well. So it's super important, and we want to share with you. We're just going to give you kind of like the on-ramp onto the freeway to super duper awesome shooting skill. And that's what this announcement is all about.
That's right. Yeah, I think, I mean, it's challenging. If you're listening to this, then you probably have a desire to take classes, to get to a range, to get instruction, to come to our Guardian conference that you've heard us talk about. And all those things are good. And yes, and continue to strive to do as much of that as your budget and your time allows. But dry fire, as you mentioned, is something that can be done every day. The challenge is, I think, when we talk to people, and we really kind of dove into this pretty heavy about a year and a half ago, when you talk to people about dry fire, the challenge is, well, what do I do? Or how do I keep it fresh? Or how do I structure it in a way that's effective or productive or doesn't get lame or boring? And so, with all that in mind, the convenience factor, the cost factor, understanding the challenges that people have with doing dry fire, we designed a training program, and we piloted it, for lack of a better word, in very late, basically a year ago. It was December 2024. So basically a year ago. And now we're doing it again, live, ready to go. So we're very excited about it. So we call it the 21-day challenge, and it kicks off on January 18th.
5 days from now.
Yep.
And so like you said, we piloted, I guess you could say, we ran it, an iteration of it before.
Yeah.
Had a bunch of people that signed up and went through that. And I mean, everybody that I saw that participated, and I mean, even if they weren't perfect as far as doing all the drills every single day, if they did 80% of them, I was paying attention. I saw the comments. I saw people chiming in the chat group. We could talk about that, what that is here in a minute, but because it's one of the benefits that's included in this program. But everybody saw improvements over the 21 days, and that was what was really cool. Here's the thing, guys. It is January 13th, 2026. Those of you that made New Year's resolutions 2 weeks ago, probably 75% of you have already thrown in the towel
Struggled
on a lot of those New Year's resolutions.
Not that we're judging.
Right. I mean, it's tough for everybody. Developing and building new habits and routines is hard. It's difficult. It takes effort, and it takes consistent effort. And in fact, if you could do a thing, I think it's like 60 days you gotta do something consistently to, like, really make it a habit, but, like, getting the ball rolling and getting you started, it's shown that, like, doing something for 3 weeks or more, is, like, hugely beneficial to getting that ball rolling, towards developing a habit, developing a routine, and that's kinda like what we wanted to help you do with the 21-day challenge, is give you a a defined, pre-programmed, system, training program that over the course of 21 days, a bunch of us all together, like I'll be going right through along with you. Jacob will be as well. A bunch of people will do it all together, for 21 days, do these dry fire drills and different things. There's other things involved as well. And it'll help you get started. A lot of people, we just saw some comments a few days ago from people, as we posted about this on social media, that said, "Hey, this was a huge help to me, and I've made huge strides since I started the 21-day challenge a year ago."
Yeah, the word challenge is intimidating, and I want to talk about that. For those, though, who may be limited on time, if you're like, just give me the website already, it's concealedcarry.com/21 days. That's the number 21. So concealedcarry.com/21 DAYS. So that's where you can go learn more and join us. But the challenge sounds intimidating, but we don't want this to be intimidating. Everything, like the reason this episode is called The Laziest Way, because I frankly believe this is as no brainer, like dumb decision as it can get. I mean, we're talking about something that should not be taking you more than 10 to 15 minutes a day of actual training, of doing the actual exercise, maybe another 10 to 15 minutes of watching the videos that will tell you how to do that exercise, and that kind of thing. But we're not talking about a significant time commitment a day. It's not an hour a day. This is at your home. All you need is your gun. Maybe some other tools would be helpful, but you can do this with nothing more than, like, if you own a gun, you can do this. You might need a printer. We have a Target you need to download.
Yep.
And print off your printer. But it's so painless in that respect. And it's just the challenge part is just that it's a commitment for 3 weeks. And I mean, to be quite frank, we had some people the first time around when we did this who said, "Hey, those 3 weeks are bad for me, or I may not be available every day. Can I still join?" And the answer is, yeah, you can get. I mean, by joining, you get permanent access to the content, and you can do it anytime you want. In fact, I think you probably should do this about twice a year. Whether it's live with us as we're doing it or on your own. Some people might say, well, I'm going to spread this out. I want to do this over 21 weeks instead of 21 days. Like, whatever, you can do it however you want. But live with us, we're going to be doing it as a group for 21 days. And by us, of course, I mean our team and any of you who choose to join us.
Yep. Yeah. So, and here's the thing. It is mostly dry fire. You don't have to go to the range every day or even all that often. There is like a baseline drill that you are encouraged to shoot at the beginning or just before the beginning if you can. Now, not everybody's going to be able to do that. Not everybody's going to be able to get to the range before the 21-day challenge starts and do that. If you're able to get to the range, though, fairly early on, would be a good idea, so you can establish a live fire baseline using that drill to kind of see where you're at. Because then what you could do is you can also shoot that same drill after the 21-day challenge, just so you can kind of have that good feeling that, hey, it actually worked and I actually made some progress. That reassurance, that confirmation, that was the word I was looking for, that the effort you put in was actually going towards something. You don't other than that, and even if you don't go to the range and do the baseline drill and all that, it's not the end of the world. Like, the work again is done in the dry fire. All you need is your gun and your holster, and then of course your computer or phone or tablet or whatever to watch the content. So it's super easy. It's low cost. It's less than $2.50 a day to participate in the 21-day challenge. It's even less than that if you are a Guardian Nation member, so even better.
It's less than half of that if you're a Guardian Nation member.
Yep.
Yeah. There's just no world where this doesn't make sense financially and in terms of your time and your convenience. Like, I refuse to believe anyone listening to this can't give us 15 to 20 minutes a day for 21 days, and that you don't have the budget of, it's like, I think it works out to like $2.30 a day or something. I mean, it's just that kind of level of easy, and
Yep.
it requires very little to get it done. Go to concealedcarry.com/21 days, 21 DAYS, to learn more and join us.
Now, what are you going to get for that $2.30 whatever odd cents or less if you're a Guardian Nation member. Let me just give you a quick rundown on that. You're going to get access to daily dry fire drills every day, 21 days. There's like, and this, I spent a lot of time and effort putting those together and planning them out because they progressively build upon each other in a logical fashion. So, and I frankly think works really well because the reports we got back from people was that it worked really well. And as I went through it myself, there was a benefit to myself, even, even as the creator, to be like, okay, yeah, this works really well, this progression of these drills. So you're going to get access to those daily dry fire drills. It's an instructional video that, kind of explains the concept, walks you through it, gives you examples. You can see me demo it, and then gives you a specific drill to follow. And if you don't have like a shot timer or something to follow along with, you can stick around to the end of the video, and pretty much all those drills have kind of like a virtual shot timer on screen that you can just follow along with and do the drill. So we make it super easy, super simple for you to do that, even if you don't have a shot timer. That's why we mean, like, literally, if you don't have anything but your gun and a holster, that's all you need. Just follow along. The other thing, you're going to get access to a daily educational video. Every day, there'll be an additional educational video. You're going to hear from experts like Kyle Lamb, Jeff Gonzalez, Dan Brady, Brian Hill, Mickey Shook, Paul Sharp, Matt Little, Dave Spalding, Mike Seeklander, myself and Jacob as well, and a bunch of other great folks. So you can get a lot of awesome educational content as well. And then you're also going to get access to a private chat group where all participants during this 21-day challenge, going through it together at the same time, can all get together, share, like, comment, ask questions, share ideas, provide feedback, all of that. And Jacob and I will be right along in there, participating and answering questions and providing, tips and suggestions along the way.
Yeah, you should really, I would encourage you to go read the testimonials of the people who did this the first time around. You can find them on that webpage on concealedcarry.com/21 days 21 DAYS. But I mean, it was crazy. Like, here's one: the 21-day challenge was a game changer for me. Not only did I see noticeable improvements in my shooting skills, but the biggest win was how much more confident and comfortable I feel carrying every day. The structured approach and daily practice helped me build consistency and trust in my abilities. A huge thank you to everyone involved who put this together. And it was it was a huge effort. We're talking about, outside of our team, you have an additional like 15 external people who contributed to this content directly, not to mention those who did indirectly. Guys, there's also a leaderboard. Like, it's a whole thing. Like, you earn points. I'm not going to do it justice in this quick little preview, but when you complete these tasks each day, when you do the exercise, when you watch the educational video, when you chime into the chat, like, you earn points for doing those things, and those points are accumulated. And there's a threshold where you earn enough points to actually complete the challenge. So it's meant to it's not meant to be difficult or impossible, but it is meant to make sure that, like, you really are plugged in and doing it, that you're part of it for 21 days. And so I would encourage you to do that. There's going to be a little prize for people who complete the challenge, and I don't want to spoil it. It's not a big thing, but it's a big deal. And I think that you can really feel like you've accomplished something, and you can stack yourself up against other people who are in the challenge and see how you stack up on the leaderboard and things like that. I'm not a very competitive person. That kind of thing doesn't really motivate me very much, but I know it does a lot of people. And so a lot of people find that to be highly motivating. They're like, well, I don't want to be the guy who slips behind, so I'm going to make sure I'm doing the steps. I'm taking the challenge seriously and completing the tasks.
I want to share a couple other testimonials. Like, I'm going to give just some kind of quick one-liners from several people because I think these are awesome. Here's William. He said, over the last 3 weeks, this is referring to the last 21-day challenge, I have shaved a solid 1 second off my draw to first hit times. That's awesome. This challenge, this is Kevin. He says, this challenge has been the best jumping off point for my concealed carry journey. I also like, let's see here. Ken here said, these last 3 weeks have taken me way out of my dry fire comfort zone. That may sound scary, but he now feels very blessed to have been shown drills that make him a much better shooter and much better concealed carrier. Can't believe all the instruction we received for an incredibly reasonable fee. Some guy in Montana said, this is exactly what I needed to keep motivated and accountable for actually doing the work. And finally, Shelly said, really enjoyed the challenge. It motivated me to actually carry, work from the holster, and focus on the basics. and she plans to make these drills and everything a consistent thing for the future for her.
Yeah, it's funny you said some guy from Montana, in case anyone was wondering. Like, that's the guy's username. That's what he
Yeah.
wrote, some guy from Montana. But yeah, it may be like the highest praise thing, that and the Guardian Conference, like, are probably the two things we've ever done as a company where every single piece of feedback we get is extraordinarily positive. We're really thrilled with this 21-day challenge. We're really excited to do it again. And we just can't encourage you enough to go check it out. concealedcarry.com/21DAYS, 21 days. And we want you to get plugged in. It starts on the 18th. If you joined a couple days late, that's really not a big deal, but I would encourage you right now to take the action. Go to the computer, type in that URL. If you're ready to go, great. Click on the button, get signed up. If not, like, read, there's a bunch of information on the page, kind of lays it out a little bit, but take it on a leap of faith and please do this. It's going to make a huge difference for you. It cannot be more affordable. It could not be more convenient. And I promise you, it will be highly effective in terms of you building your skills, not just in 21 days, but you having a foundation and a platform and a methodology and a system and a set of tools and a habit to continue to build on those skills long after the 21 days are over.
Yep. Can't say much more than that. Folks, again, go to concealedcarry.com/21 days. Get signed up now. You only have a few days before this kicks off. Thanks for listening to this bonus episode. We just had the thought, hey, we should probably do something on the podcast and put the word out. It's been going out in email and on social media and all that. But hey, get signed up. Consider sharing this with friends and family, or that coworker guy, or whatever that you know is just kind of like, what do I do next? I bought a gun, I got a holster, and what do I do next? Bob, hey, buddy, come sign up for this 21-day challenge. They promise it'll help make you better, and I really do make that promise. Or we'll give you your money back. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's appropriate for every skill level where you're at. Like, this is designed to drive your next hyper growth in skills. So take advantage. Next week, Riley and I will also be at SHOT Show, so you can look forward to some really cool episodes coming out in the podcast here soon from some interviews we have lined up with some pretty awesome guests next week. So anyway, stay tuned for a lot of cool new content coming up here on the podcast, as well as on like our YouTube and Facebook and all that.
Yeah. Looking forward to it, guys. Well, until next time, a reminder to train right, train often, and train safe so you can fight hard, fight fast, and fight true. Take care.